The Ford Explorer, the one that got it all going for the SUV craze in North America. The first ones were built in 1990 as 1991 model year vehicles. Well, 3 decades later in terms of model years, we have the 2021 Ford Explorer. And this time it's a V6 and it's a hybrid. How does it stand up against today's leaders in the SUV field? Let's find out today on Family Wheels. Generation of the SUV that came to define the segment debuted in the 2020 model year, and for 2021 sports one major change: price. Ford has cut hundreds of dollars off the MSRP across the Explorer line, reacting to the intense competition in what is called the mid-size SUV market. A side note here, by the way, the only reason something that's about 200 inches long, weighs more than 2 tons, and has 3 rows of seats is unironically called midsize is because an even larger category was inserted on top of it years ago. But back to the Explorer. As I was saying, the price drop helps the Explorer compete against at least a dozen rivals in the SUV market. Depending on version, the Explorer could be your around-town family hauler and errand runner, or those duties plus towing a camping trailer, boat, or outdoor toys, or an off-road adventurer. The Explorer's styling is distinctly American, but tasteful. It's handsome from end to end, especially the grille and headlight combination, either blacked out or shiny. The look is strong without the buffoonish aggressiveness of today's pickup trucks. The character line, or swage line, the one running through the door handles, is well executed. There's a hint of it in the side view of the bumper, then it begins in earnest at the front wheel wells, rising along the length of the side, and wraps all the way around the back under the rear window, but above the signature Explorer badge. The line creates a shoulder, below which are subtle compound curves, leading to a lower crease. The treatment used by many manufacturers, that's true. Ford didn't invent it, but I think this is one of the best uses of it. The colors also appeal to me, especially our tester in what's called infinite blue. Vehicle interiors are a battleground among manufacturers trying to make us feel at home, heck, maybe even better, as we deal with getting around. Luxury, convenience, and safety features abound in the Explorer, as they do in its many rivals. Our test ride, the spec called Limited, has keyless entry with folding mirrors, remote start, a panoramic moonroof, leather seats, heated and ventilated up front, power adjustment for both, and position memory for the drivers, heated steering wheel with power adjustment, multi-zone climate control, rain-sensing wipers, wireless charging, but not wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, you have to plug those in, USB and C jacks, Wi-Fi hotspot, and 12-speaker sound system from Bang & Olufsen, one of the premier names in audio, active noise cancellation, and 12-volt and 110-volt electrical outlets. The second row has captain's chairs with seat heat, and they zip forward for third row access by pushing a button on top. The second row also has its own climate controls plus USB and electrical connections. The center display is logical, easy to learn and use, in part due to the Ford Sync comms and entertainment system, which can work alongside Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. The interior's overall impression is of luxury, but not the Euro-look swankiness of the Kia Telluride and Hyundai Palisade. Well, you're probably not going to put too many adults here in the third row of the Explorer, but just as an illustration, the seat in front of me is set up for me, and I do have enough knee room, although my legs really aren't sitting on the seat, which means the seat is a little on the low side. But also it narrows back here. We've got bins, we've got a cup holder and a little bin here. And then there's obviously the wheels, so it narrows things down. And what that means is that your right leg doesn't go under the seat in front of you, it goes to the right. And now mine is butted up against the bin here, the little cubby in front of me. So it's not the most comfortable situation, but for a fairly short trip, an adult could tolerate it. For kids, of course, it'd be a different story entirely. And getting into and out of the third row for an adult is a real chore. Well, it's time to load up our Explorer. As usual, we've got a stroller, a backpack, and 3 bags of groceries. This is an extremely tight fit, and frankly, it's a disappointment. It is worth noting that the Explorer Hybrid does not give up any cargo space to its 1.5 kilowatt-hour battery because it's small and mounted under the second row seats. Space behind the third row is 18.2 cubic feet, 47.9 behind the second row, and 87.8 with both rows folded. In the Kia Telluride, it's 21.46 and 87, thus more with all three rows up, but less otherwise. So it goes across one brand and the next, the space available varying within the typical length of about 200 inches. Ford has done a decent job, and it's a good thing they've got a V6 under the hood. That really helps. The four cylinders, for instance, on the Toyota can be quite noisy. I have not driven the Ford four-cylinder EcoBoost turbocharged engine. The Explorer has a very straight and true feeling about it. Now, that may be partly due to the all-wheel drive. You never feel when it's shuffling back and forth between the front and the rear wheels. It's seamless that way, but it just tracks beautifully. Very nice. And part of that's got to be due to the 20-inch rims with great big Michelin Primacy tires on them. And the seats are excellent. Brakes are nice and linear, and again, those great big tires certainly help out in the braking department. One really nice feature is Ford's got its brake hold, as many vehicles have, but it remembers that you want the brake hold on. You don't have to reset it every time. And if you want to hurry along, that's certainly available. I mean, considering the size and the weight of the thing, that's pretty impressive. Now that we're driving through a shopping district at very low speeds, with lots of pedestrians around, it's gone back to all electric. A big SUV, especially an American one, had better come with plenty of towing power if it wants to be taken seriously, and the Explorer does. Even the four-cylinder turbo can pull 5,300 pounds or 2,404 kilograms. The V6 twin-turbo is rated for 5,600 pounds or 2,540 kilos. Our tester has the least towing power, something common among hybrids, but is still capable of hauling 5,000 pounds. And it comes with the $600 Class 3 towing package, meaning a frame-mounted hitch, trailer connectors, and engine oil cooler. Another confidence-inspiring feature is what Ford calls intelligent four-wheel drive. It measures steering wheel angle, accelerator pedal position, rates of acceleration and turning, and wheel speed to calculate how much torque is sent to the rear wheels to keep everything under control. Around town motoring is mostly a front drive mix. Again, Ford is not alone in this area, but its system appears well thought out, if not quite the sporty wizardry of Acura's super-handling all-wheel drive on the MDX and others. The Explorer also has 7 drive settings: normal, eco, sport, tow or haul, slippery, deep snow or sand, and trail. Throw in hill descent control, adaptive cruise control, a full suite of active safety features including automatic emergency braking, 360-degree parking view, foot-activated liftgate, and mini spare tire, and you've got one well-spec'd SUV. The Explorer comes in 4 flavors in Canada, soon to be 5. XLT with 4-cylinder turbo, Limited with the EcoBoost 4 or our tester hybrid with non-turbo V6, Sporty or ST twin-turbo V6, and Platinum. 4-wheel drive is standard across all of them. In the U.S., there are 6 specifications, soon to be 7: Base, XLT, Limited, ST, King Ranch, and Platinum. Some are available with rear-wheel drive only in the U.S., but Ford has just added a more off-roady spec, the Explorer Timberline. Arriving this summer, it'll have different front and rear styling, interior styling changes, steel skid plates at key points front to rear, different approach and departure angles, Torsen limited slip differential, slightly more ground clearance from stronger shock absorbers, different springs and stabilizer bars, and Bridgestone Dueler all-terrain tires. Towing package is standard, and the only engine will be the 2.3-liter Turbo 4. Is the hybrid worth the extra $3,000? In fuel savings, probably not. The EcoBoost 4 uses 11.7 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, the hybrid V6 10.1. Now apply that 1.6-liter difference across 15,000 kilometers in a year, and you get 240 liters, or just under $400 at Vancouver's current gas price of nearly $1.66 a liter, the highest in North America. The Turbo 4 can tow 5,300 pounds, 300 more than the hybrid. The hybrid would likely have the edge on engine quietness and drivetrain smoothness, mind you, but it's also heavier, and that usually affects handling. That's our look at the 2021 Ford Explorer Limited Hybrid All-Wheel Drive. What'd you think of it? Leave a comment. Thanks for subscribing. Give us a like. I'm Richard Detman. See you next time on Family Wheels.